who'd always gone out with extremely sexy guys and just had a good time. One day, she woke up and she was 41. She couldn't get any more dates. She had a complete physical breakdown, couldn't hold on to her job, and had to move back to Wisconsin to live with her mother.
Happy birthday, dear Miranda. Happy birthday to you.
Another 30-something birthday with a group of unmarried female friends. We would all have preferred a nice celebratory conference call.
Why do you like Miranda?
I'm confused.
Miranda is giving F everything. I hate my life. Womanhood sucks. She, if anything, just would make me hate my existence as a woman if I literally tried to channel her.
Here's the truth, guys. We can't identify with Miranda Hobbes because she has blocked femininity and we don't. But before we get into it, you've landed on Remy TV, where we coach you on all things girlhood and how to level up in life, love, and relationships. And let's get into it.
So Miranda, one thing about her, you finna hear her always belittling womanhood, always scoffing at anything that represents something soft and pink and happy.
Or feminine, anything. Whether that's having kids, whether that's having a party, whether that's wearing a nice dress, you're gonna hear Miranda tell you that's disgusting.
The green post-its are for the gowns I kind of really like, and the yellow post-its are for the gowns I don't know if I like.
Here, kill me, please. Just take a sharp object and drag it across my throat.
But today she would have no such luck.
I mean, I really liked him. I really thought he liked me. Why didn't he call me?
Another thing I don't like about Miranda, not only is she a flawed character, as they all are supposed to be, she's a heavily insecure character. She's deeply insecure and then projects her insecurities onto others, and everyone knows that's the worst kind of person. It's one thing to be insecure, it's another thing to do nothing about it but complain.
Yeah. And Miranda's literally a walking contradiction. One moment she's saying F love, I don't need this shit in my life. And the next moment you're like, I'm gonna be alone forever. Oh my God, I'll never find a man.
Pick a side, pick a side. Our goal is to open up a new perspective on who Miranda Hobbes really was, because you may be identifying with her for all of the wrong reasons. Today we're gonna unpack how her hyper independence hindered her throughout her entire life, caused her to revert into her masculine and grow a penis.
A societal penis, yes.
Miranda is the most self-reliant of the group. She prides herself on not needing anyone, especially men. This stems from her upbringing. We know she grew up in survival mode with a mother who wasn't nurturing, turning her into this person.
But this is often a defense mechanism. Her independence is a way to protect herself from disappointment, rejection, or feeling less than in traditionally feminine or domestic spaces. In Sex and the City, I really think that the look that Miranda possesses is very intentional. We tend to categorize her as the more tomboyish vibe, but I don't think it's just that. I think there's a deeper reason. Her short hair, I think now that we've dissected her, it's definitely a means to explain how she needs control in her life. So that is actually symbolic meaning if you actually look it up when it comes to people cutting their hair, and usually in their life as they get older, it's usually things going on in their life where they need to feel like I have everything under control. And her structured suits, the shoulder pads, you know how they even showed it in the 90s, how this girl was out here with shoulder pads, like that was who she is.
And
that
nothing's wrong with wearing structured clothes, guys. We're not saying you can't wear it, but we're trying to let you know she identified with these clothes because she leaned more in her masculine energy, and energetically this felt like her.
Every person has a masculine energy. When it comes to work, you need your masculine energy to be able to achieve and get a promotion, to make a lot of money, to be the boss. You need that energy. It's in all of us. You need to be able to direct, to be firm, and all those things. But when you leave home and you still are strict, firm, then there's a disconnect here. You're not balanced as a woman because you're taking work to your everyday life. Now you're just that.
A perfect example of this, you'll notice that Miranda's need for control and efficiency is constant. She's always on the go. It's go, 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 go. To the point, like, she does really weird things. Like, think about that nuance of when she went to that gym and she was really irritated that the mother wanted her to take a step back to allow her own son to press the elevator button. To you, normally, if you were in the elevator, maybe hopefully, you'd just be like, oh, okay, of course. that wouldn't bother you. But Miranda's
Exactly.
thinking to herself, why do I have to set aside my need to be efficient and on the go to give this child a millisecond of happiness to press a button? Logically, that doesn't make sense to my structure and my life. Therefore, yours to the child.
And Miranda decided she had ceded enough territory to the invading troops.
Do you mind? He really loves to push the button.
Yeah? So do I.
If you think this behavior is normal, I'm so sorry.
It's actually not. Like, a great example of that is the other day I was walking on the street and I looked up and I see a little boy on the balcony, and he was so excited that I was looking at him and he waved excitedly. A typical person, I mean me, because I have light femininity, I'm in touch with my nurturing side, I automatically waved back. I gave him a warm smile, made him feel acknowledged, because when you have your femininity intact, you love
Spreading love.
Yes,
you literally love spreading love.
Especially young souls, children. Like, children make you light up. Like, even if you don't want to be a mom one day, you still love kids. You know what I mean? But if it was her, she would have been like, anyway, I got somewhere to be.
She would look at that kid like, anyways, next. This is what we're trying to say. When you are so rigid and cold like that and so deep into your masculine, you just become a wounded feminine woman who has a societal penis.
If you love competing with men, or you gladly, every man you meet, you look for ways to level him up, I mean, you, my dear, have a societal penis.
You understand? If you as a girly are trying to be like, oh my God, let me get him this job, let me get him this gig, and then he'll be a star. Like, you're always looking like, you know what, I'm gonna make that baby boy level up in life. It's giving swinging my balls around.
Or if you even like hear, for example, your man got a promotion and you're like, I need to make more money than him.
We knew a
Excuse
girl.
me?
We knew a girl that told us her goal in life is to marry a man that she makes more money than, and she really wants to compete with him throughout the marriage. It's important for her to prove to her husband that she can achieve more than him, make more money than him. She was 34 years old. She's not dead, but her relationship life is.
Yeah.
Her relationship life is, though.
I coined the term the societal penis because I started noticing a trend of women constantly wanting to emulate men. And I was like, that's really strange. Why do they feel like they need to do this? And I think the biggest reason why is because of their patriarchy. It's their fault. They made women no longer feel like they can be confident in their femininity. So now they need to basically create their own fake penis so they can feel like they're with the boys.
Exactly. Now here is our Remy Urban Dictionary. Guys, we're going to be starting this. So we're going to be giving you guys these terms so that you can intellectualize behaviors. We want to make it easy for you, okay? So a societal penis is when a woman unconsciously adopts extreme masculine energy driven by pressure to be hyper independent, capable, and self-sufficient. Believing femininity is a weakness. In doing so, she suppresses her softness and emotional depth, becoming rigid and disconnected from her feminine essence and burdened by the weight of that dangling. And doing it alone.
Yeah. And think about it.
So we're basically trying to show you guys that having blocked femininity could be the reason why you find that you're being rejected or you're not being desired in the way you want. And Miranda often felt like she was going to end up alone. Even though you guys have a false preconceived notion that she's really strong, says, I don't need a man. And she doesn't care. All I saw through season 1 to 3 at least, constant worry about if she will get married. Will someone be with her? It was different from Charlotte, but it was definitely there.
When she literally choked on her food alone and started panicking, calling Carrie like, I'm gonna die alone.
Unfortunately, I was deep into screening mode. Big had called twice and I didn't know what I wanted to say to him.
Oh my God! I just choked. I just almost died, and you're not.
Hey, sweetie, you alright?
I was watching Hard Copy, and I kept thinking when they found me, I would forever be the dead girl who watched bad TV.
Well, why didn't you call me?
I couldn't breathe. I'm gonna die alone, Carrie.
No, you are not. Do you want me to come over?
No, I'm okay. I'll call you tomorrow.
Normal people just said, damn, I just almost died. Not, I'ma die alone.
Or that time when she went to the gynecologist and they found out like she had like a lazy ovary, and immediately her mind goes to me ending up alone.
A new geological layer of humiliation.
Well, we got your tests back and everything looks fine.
Great.
Just one small thing. It appears you have a lazy ovary.
A lazy ovary?
Yes, your right ovary has stopped producing eggs.
Is it possible it's just on strike? I know what this is. My right ovary has given up hope that I will ever get married and have kids.
Do you see how that doesn't make sense? If she was just a normal woman who didn't feel like she needs a man in her life, that's not the conclusion you're gonna go to. You're gonna just say, hey, I may have a medical issue, I need to work on this, etc. The last thing you're thinking about is a man. Why would you?
These things honestly bothered her so much that it gave her a panic attack. She had a panic attack over the idea of possibly actually ending up alone and having no one at her side.
The next day, Miranda decided to check out her new neighborhood. But suddenly, she was the one checking out.
Well, that was freaky. I felt like I was drowning and dying at the same time.
Sweetie, they said you had a panic attack.
Yeah, and I had to pay $500 of my single person salary to find that out.
What's wrong?
Take a good look at my face, because at my funeral, there'll only be half of it. I'll be dead, and my cat will be happy, and Charlotte will be picking up men at the next gravesite over.
Breathe, sweetie, breathe, breathe.
I'm all alone, Carrie. The first people on my call in case of emergency list are my parents, and I don't like them. And they live in Pennsylvania.
Oh, sweetie.
That shit she would parade in front of y'all, the I got it together shit, is an act. So that's why I struggle understanding what you guys like. You like acting?
Yeah, I don't get it. And I think, if anything, you must like her because you can identify with the acting. Pretending that you don't need a man when deep down you want companionship, you just don't know how to get it, so you make fun of it instead.
And it's okay to want companionship. What's not okay is centering men. Let's be clear.
There's two different things.
Like for me, I believe in divine union, and I believe in finding a partner who is
equally yoked with you.
There you go.
In the most positive way, because you both finally got in touch with balancing yourselves. He's balanced in his femininity and his masculinity, and you are balanced. That's when divine union comes together.
Miranda wants to be desired. Every woman wants to be desired, but Miranda has fooled you guys into thinking she never cared about any of that, and you guys actually believed it. You guys believe Miranda doesn't care about being desired. Her blocked femininity bothered her a lot more than she wanted to admit, and she wasn't able to identify that was the issue. All she knew is that for some reason she wasn't seen as desirable in the way she wanted. This is why in the earlier seasons, when she discovered her friend would not choose her to have a threesome with, that literally flipped her world upside down.
She lost it. She fucking lost it, mate. But it's like, let's be real. I wouldn't choose you either, sis.
Across town, Miranda was dealing with her own nightmare.
Look, I know it's juvenile, but it bothers me. I'm attractive, I'm smart, right? Plenty of people should want me for a threesome.
So you're saying that you're attracted to your girlfriends?
No! But if your friends won't go down on you, who will?
Y'all wouldn't choose her either. Ask yourself why the world doesn't care about Miranda Hobbes. She's like the least favorite in the fandom. Yes, people love her, but she's back of the line.
Keep it a buck. And you know, when people say, are you a Carrie or Samantha? You know, most times people get upset when they're the one who's the Miranda.
They take it as an insult. So
ask yourself why you took it as an insult.
Yeah.
Because she demonstrates a woman who isn't fully in tune with her womanhood.
And you're like, and don't say that to me.
Exactly. Because why would you? You want, like, that's crazy that someone thinks that about you.
And I feel like when things like this come up, it forces Miranda to have to acknowledge what she already feels. She doesn't know that it's blocked femininity. She just knows, I don't feel like I'm girly. Like, I don't have that girl thing that the other girls have. Why? Why can't I be validated and desired as a girly girl? I have a vag.
So, the four of us get into a cab. Only they won't let me sit in the back with them. They make me ride up front with the driver, who happens to be the original Chris from the Partridge Family.
What I'm hearing is that you're still very upset about being sexually rejected by your friends.
Let me ask you something. Would you do a threesome with me?
I think we need to talk about why you're asking me that.
I take that as a no?
Miranda?
Hi.
What a relief. Oh, most of the women who answered our ad, well, they were, kind of.
But ugly.
Yeah. Oh, nothing like you. Oh.
Thanks.
We've never done anything like this before.
Oh, it's a huge fantasy of Mark's. I offered to do it for his 30th birthday.
Whatever happened to giving a nice pen?
No.
That night, Miranda finally got her validation. Her shrink has suggested she comes 3 times a week.
Let us be very clear. Our issue with Miranda is not that she has the insecurity. It's that instead of actually addressing it to fix it, she uses cheat codes. It's always like a cheat code to fix this problem and not actually doing the work, the healing. That's why she just goes and tries to get a hookup with a couple. They tell her she's attractive. She feels like, oh my God, that has fixed my wound. No, the fuck it didn't. And now she's moved on.
But trust me, in a couple episodes, she finna talk about it again.
Like somehow
anyway.
it's gonna that fear, that insecurity will come out
because you didn't do the work. You need to go through fire in order to come out alive. Like you have to go through it to get over it.
And the theme of Miranda wanting to be desired and being rejected continued. I remember there was a moment in I think season 3 where she was dating some guy named Jeremy, because I find this entire scene with this man very, very intentional. Listen guys, I'm a screenwriter myself, and I really feel like there's so many undertones and subliminal messaging and subtext that you guys aren't picking up on, and I really want you guys to look at this story deeper, because some woman comes over to drop something off and draws in his attention. When she is standing near Miranda, the opposite energies are so obvious.
You guys can see in the scene.
Well, thanks for bringing that by. We were just about to go out and get some dinner, so...
Yes, did you want to join us? Last week I was doing an interview at a restaurant in Kensington.
Miranda suddenly found herself in the situation every woman dreams of. She was on a truly great first date.
Just be careful not to eat any buckshot.
Unfortunately, it was somebody else's.
And it's like, sorry to break it to you women that are straight. If you want to be in a straight relationship, emphasis on straight, babe. If you really want to be in a straight relationship with a very masculine type of man.
Healthy masculine man.
A healthily masculine man. You can't show up in this overly masculine way, because he would have dated a man if he was into that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, she's not going to turn his head because he's straight, and you're giving off the aura of his bros.
And because of that, he will think that you did that intentionally, and in his mind, he will see you as a friend, even though you are not seeing it that way, but you're energetically swinging your dick on the table. This is what we're talking about. Your societal penis is on the table. When you went, how the hell are ya? You had a hard on. He saw it, said, oh, heard you. Then the girl comes through, light, feminine, playful. You can see it in the vibe. He invites her to come out with them because he thinks he's friends with Miranda. And then on the date, he forgets she's even there.
Were they trying to show how maybe the woman held space for him to be in his masculine? He can really be himself with her, and he could talk? Because he was very talkative in the scene.
Yes, that's true. And to top it off, he did the tale as old as time. When you know, you know. He proposed very quickly after meeting this woman.
I'd especially like to thank her for introducing me to Madeline, an incredible, beautiful woman who must be drunk off her ass because she just agreed to marry me.
Apparently, the only thing going away was Miranda's dream.
Congratulations!
It's not like musical chairs.
Why not me? What am I doing wrong? Am I invisible?
Can I help you?
I live
here.
That made Miranda feel like, oh my God, it's pointing out that insecurity where I feel like I am not enough woman in a man's eyes. What is it about me? What is wrong with me? And she even says it.
There seems to be this thing on social media where people get very visceral when they get a visceral reaction when they hear the words masculine energy and feminine energy. And essentially, I think it's usually because you can't understand it. Mm-hmm. And in spirituality and energy, we have not been taught these things. When have you ever been taught that in school? Unless your spirituality in your family, like if you have like some religious spirituality, that's the most you probably had. But when it comes to things like that, only people who are intuitive can fully get it, or the people who are intellectual and sense in the world something's off. Like when they see men and women, something's wrong, and objectively in their head they know something's wrong. And as soon as they hear the word femininity and masculinity, they're like, clicks. But for the people who have no knowledge and no understanding of spirituality at all, they get so angry and they think that we're trying to put this woo stuff on them, like it's like a religion,
label on
but
you.
It's the truth. Humans are not only flesh and bones, we are soul, we are spirit. Why are you acting like there's not more to the human soul than that? A lot of people really can't stand the viewpoint of masculine and feminine energy, but we are all humans and it's all within us. And even Miranda herself brings it up so many times on the show.
She may not say feminine energy, but she'll say, I'm not a girl. Is this what girls are supposed to be? I feel like I'm not girly. It rears its ugly head. A great example of this is when they went to the bull riding show. When she saw that other woman, she's immediately comparing herself. That woman has seduction. She's able to move her body and be free. She's able to flow. Miranda's like, whoa, what is that? It's like looking at a unicorn.
Look at her. She screams sex. It's so honest. I wish I could be more like that.
Well, stop fucking complaining about it and just do something about it.
Hey, which one of the ladies gonna be next?
I will! Miranda, no! Over here! She will!
Here, take my shoes.
Go, girl! Yeah!
We weren't sure if it was the California climate or the 5 Lone Star beers she drank, but as soon as she got on that bull, Miranda escaped Miranda.
She wants to be that, which is why that scene was the way it was.
When she got on the bull, look how drastically different her aura was on the bull. Immediately, very rigid arms. Just her energy overall did not give seduction. It was just trying to hold on for dear life.
The other girl was like, hey, Miranda was like, Georgia fighting!
Yeah, you're not thinking about sex
like,
when you see her. You're like, oh, I hope she's alive, and like stays on.
Like I wasn't like, oh, that was so cute.
I'm like, oh, she's a fighter. Like that's what I think. I'm not thinking, oh, she a bad girl. She hot. No, she a cowgirl. You know, like I'm not thinking that. She's not giving that energy. And that really shows that when it comes to feminine energy, when you're fully in tune with your feminine energy, you are very comfortable. It's all about flow. When it comes to masculine energy, it's all about structure. But women, it's flow when you're in tune with it. And evidently, that's what demonstrated in Miranda's body language.
Feminine energy thrives on being in the body. Dance, especially freeform or fluid styles, gets you out of your head and into your hips, heart, and rhythm. When I don't see people dancing, it makes me think that they're dead inside, especially women. Dancing awakens sensuality without shame.
Feminine energy is very intuitive and it's all about flow.
And you guys are like, I don't know what that means. Like, guys, dance, just dance. Dancing helps women take up space with their own energy and build confidence. Which is funny because it makes sense why Miranda suggested that she go to a dance class. And as you can see, when she goes to this dance class, she can't dance.
There, all you have to do is let her out.
This is gonna help you be a woman. I'm gonna find my inner goddess if it kills me.
And open yourself like a lotus flower. Come on, pop your hip. Pop your hip.
You see? My hips don't pop. I'm a guy.
You see how jarred she is when she can't move her hips? She actually has every right to feel that way. Now you're thinking, okay, every woman does not have to be a dancer or have to have rhythm. You are so right. But you should be able to move fluidly and move your body.
A lot of times people don't know that the pelvis area is actually the space for emotions, feelings, and intimacy. So if your body is very stiff in that area, that usually means there's trauma trapped in there, because that's like the emotional center of your body.
As a woman, you will find that trauma stores in your hips. Your hips are linked to the sacral chakra. This governs creativity, intimacy, and emotional flow. Everything feminine. So when trauma, especially related to safety, control, or boundaries, cough, Miranda Hobbes, is experienced, the body may unconsciously tighten or hold tension in the hips to protect itself. I think there's no mistake that this scene was on the show. And then when she can't move her hips, what does she say? I'm a man.
She said it herself, guys. She just couldn't explain it. And now we are here to do that. Notice that Miranda tries to intellectualize the act of being girly.
I'm never gonna be a girly girl. I never will. I'm never gonna be a lotus flower.
And may I just say thank God?
A girly girl would want her boyfriend to move in.
Yeah, she also wears makeup to the gym.
And makes little hearts above her eyes.
And she quite literally tries to act girly, air quotes.
And this act is ultimately what makes her decide to let broke, dirty Steve move into her house, because she thinks a girly girl would want their boyfriend to live with them. Like, girly girls are happy about that, right?
She's like, they're so silly. Wouldn't they let them in?
Like, literally, what? Which leads us to the most nasty relationship, one of the worst ones on the show. For some reason, they're romanticized. Falsely romanticized. Steve and Miranda, the most horrifying couple. Let's get into it.
The only reason why Steve and Miranda was able to even have any type of relationship is because they were the reciprocal for each other. Miranda being overtly masculine in her energy, and Steve is in his feminine energy. So he was too much in his feminine energy and she was too much in her masculine. You will find that if you are overly masculine, you will attract overly feminine men, because that's how energy works.
Yep.
Opposites attracts, as you guys know.
What's funny though, I'm going to take us to the beginning of this relationship. When they met each other, you could see the difference in their energies. Number one, she didn't want to talk to him at the bar, and he kept being all sweet and nice, being like, okay. And he was trying to tell her his name, and she's like, I don't want to talk, okay? I just don't want to talk to you. He's like, okay, like, I don't want to talk to you, Steve. She's like, do you think you're funny? Like, do you think you're cute? It's just... And listen, I so get you. I hate guys don't talk to me. When I was younger, guys, a guy would try to say something cheeky and I would act like he's the most insane, disgusting person. I'd be like, ew, no. And
yeah, and then when she would do that, I would check her, because I was like, I feel like there's a time and place to get aggressive, especially if a man isn't being disrespectful and he's just actually putting his foot forward.
Yeah, one time, literally, we were doing a video, taking pictures outside, and a guy said, do you want me to take the pictures of you guys? And I said, no. I acted like he said the most insulting thing. I don't know. It's because I just think men are crazy. And she was like, why are you yelling? This is how you react to people? Do you know how crazy that looks? And I really had to realize, oh...
Yeah, like, it's because it's just like, you seem like you're like, what? Like, you have a gun on you? What is happening?
And that's why it's not surprising that afterwards Steve asked her if she hates men.
One quick question and I'm out of here. Why do you hate guys so much?
Excuse me?
We just met, so I know that ain't all about me.
And I think a lot of women think they're being smart about that. And a lot of times that's how y'all, I'm not saying that's the only way, because women can do literally nothing and get killed. Period. Facts. They can literally live their lives and they get killed. But sometimes I think when we act in a certain way like that, like try to aggress the aggressor, why, if the person isn't approaching you that way, you don't realize that sometimes that aggressiveness can actually turn dangerous for you?
You can't trust men already.
So really just try to be aware of your environment and know when it's time to get aggressive for your safety and when not to.
And we also want you guys to make note that if you are a girl that moves like this, where you're like, ugh, I hate men, so you act a certain way with them, you're very rude, you're very aggressive, but you're also the same woman who feels like she's gonna end up alone and doesn't understand why men won't commit to her, why men don't take her seriously. All of that, in the same breath, you treat men the way Miranda acted when she first met Steve. You can't be shocked that you are being rejected.
Or you're being treated like a hookup and a pump. Wait, no, a hit and quit.
Because you're too masculine for him. For him, he's like, I'm not willing gay. I'll have sex though.
Because men don't have sex with anything. He's not have sex with you, but long-term relationship. Could she be the mother to my kids? Obviously not. She can't. She doesn't have space for that. And I promise you, men actually look at that. They're like, could literally never see her mothering my children. Ew, no.
They'll be like, yeah, no, she's a bitch. Like, literally.
So it's basically you attract what you are. And if you are going to be very negative about the opposite sex, you will attract men who hate your guts.
That's why Miranda ended up dating that one guy who was super aggressive. He was like a lawyer and he was always talking about work and he was really aggressive and angry and she acted like he was a freak. But I'm like, I mean, this is kind of, you're dating yourself.
What you were. And
A toast to a very happy occasion.
Oh, yeah, I'm falling all over myself with glee. Now I get to work 60 hours a week for pretty much the same salary. I'm walking on air.
Can't we enjoy your success for one fucking second?
You know, it just pisses me off. You don't get how much pressure I'm under. You really do live in Never Never Land, don't you? By the way, if there's a difference between this $100 bottle of champagne and the crap they sell for 29 bucks, it takes a more delicate palate than mine to detect it. I don't know.
Well, I like the champagne, and the bread is fabulous. Oh my God, look at those flowers.
Don't piss me off. Where are you going?
Back to Never Never Land. And by the way, never, never call me again. Have a nice day.
What?
Miranda broke her pattern in a way that she had never expected. The angry guy had turned her into a cockeyed optimist.
I think, again, guys, stop passively watching TV. Writers don't write these things for no reason. There is a reason because there's a story so you can understand. There is a reason why this character is getting these scenes. Like, they're trying to create a picture for you subliminally because y'all don't want to open a book. You get what I'm saying?
And when you are a hyper independent woman who also leans in her masculine energy, you will end up baby boying your man. You will mother him like you've never mothered before. Why?
You're like Nicki Minaj saying all these bitches in my sons.
No, literally. And why, you say? Because you're so hyper independent. You're used to having everything in control and under control. So in order for you to be in a relationship, you think the same way. I have to have his life under control, his appointments under control. You might set up his appointments. You might clean his room for him, pack for him. Just making sure he's in order makes you feel like your relationship is in order, but all you are is his mom.
Yeah.
And we see this play out when they go to the store and she's trying to buy Steve that suit that he cannot afford.
Thank you. You're welcome. What do you think?
I think it's kind of frightening how good I look.
It's a beautiful suit. I think we should take it. Could you do a cuff with a nice little break?
Will these be the shoes?
I think we should take the shoes. Don't you think we should take the shoes?
I guess we're taking the shoes.
Yeah. Just like that.
Jesus. 1,800 bucks. I guess I better not spill anything.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
What?
I invited you to this thing. I want to pay for the suit.
No way. You're not buying me a suit.
But I wanted to do this for you.
Then I'd start to think of you like my mother, and that could get a little weird for me.
Sorry, sir, it was declined. Would you like to try another one?
Why don't you try one of mine?
No. All right, how about this? Let's try 800 on the card. I'll write you a check for 1,000, and I'll give you the rest in cash.
Steve, forget it. It's too expensive.
Now, would you just let me buy the fucking suit?
So the scene obviously shows you how uncomfortable that is for a man when you constantly are trying to, like, you know, buy everything for him, especially expensive items. When it comes to women, you need to understand we are literal walking currency.
Your presence is a present.
Yes, unfortunately, they did not want us women to know that. As you can see in history, we pretty much have been enslaved and used. So why would they want us to know we're currency? So that's why God is making us, give us this platform to tell you guys, you are powerful, you're currency, you're quite literally a goddess on earth. Which is why when you go and start buying things, doing the most, doing this and that, when men start getting uncomfortable, you think they're just being odd because they're not taking affection. But actually, they already see us as goddesses. We just haven't. And so they're saying, why is a goddess constantly giving me things? Oh my God, do I owe her something? Oh my God, I owe her more money. I owe her more. You keep giving to him. It's him thinking he owes you because it's his job to worship you.
And to give important to you. And you're like, but I love him. I want to do stuff for him. You'll be like, he just got a new apartment. He doesn't have a mattress right now. I'm going to go buy him a bed and I'm going to decorate his room because I love him. Wrong. He was happy enough that you just supported that he got a new place. Now he feels like he owes you and he's going to resent you because now he all of a sudden his credit score is going down. He wasn't even intending for this. He was happy before, but you did so much and you're also upset because he's not excited when you do it. You're doing it out of love and you don't know why he's not excited. Man doesn't want to be in debt.
When you do, there's no room for him to do anything. Hence why the debt is piling up. He has not been able to work for it. You've been doing all the work.
And the gag is he says, I don't want you to be my mother in that scene. And it's funny though, because this is where Steve has boundaries. Though now you got boundaries. The man who asked her to move into her house.
Actually, I'd like to move in.
Most single women dream of this moment. Most single women but Miranda.
Wow. Okay. Where did that come from?
Yeah, and I think also he's a person who's manipulative. We will speak about it soon, but he has the skills of making you think he's a man. I think that's a manipulation tactic for you to act like, oh, you're emasculating me, but can I live at your house? How does that make any sense?
No, seriously though. Let us know in the comments. By the way, if you are a fan of Steve and Miranda, we want you to drop in the comments what is it about the relationship that stood out to you that you admired so I can dismantle that for you because you are incorrect. So,
girl, if you want something like that, please.
Absolutely not. Let me know why you want something like that. Why you want a man who would ask you if he can live in your house after he's making space. Guys, this is so feminine. Girls are the ones that are usually like, oh, they're staying at a guy's house. They have a drawer. They want to live together, all that stuff. But this guy, he wants all that because he realized he can have a really relaxed life under Miranda's wing. What the perks? He gets to sit on his ass while his baby girl goes and works on the job. He gets to come back home.
Girl, he gets to live the good life, quite literally, sitting pretty. He's the passenger princess in this relationship.
He literally did not have any money, guys. This is a broke-ass bartender. He has no money. Miranda said it herself.
And he's got no money, no savings, no nothing.
There should be some sort of city-funded breakup housing for those who find themselves in need.
Man was out here watching cartoons.
This is the same man who had the audacity to have no money, live in her home, look at her and say we should have a child.
Do you know, like, that's what a woman would do?
Exactly. He's feeling so relaxed in his feminine, he thinks it's time to have a child now. Oh, is that so?
Like, that is so effing weird.
Meanwhile, you are her child, a grown man in his mid-30s on the couch watching cartoons in the middle of the day. Oh my God, that's y'all dream man?
That's all mine.
I'm serious, Steve. Turn off the cartoons.
But Scoobs, what about the ghost?
You know what? Forget it.
Miranda.
It was then that Miranda realized she may have already had a baby in her house.
I want to shelve this whole baby thing for a while.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
He wants to have a baby. What's wrong with this picture?
Well, you could always go the Immaculate Conception route.
Seriously.
And that's why it's funny because then again, Miranda feels like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Like, That's what I keep telling y'all. The reciprocals will always attract each other, but things along the way will keep forming cracks. It does not matter. You can get together now, but I promise you, the future's bleak.
And the show showed us this. When Miranda and Steve first broke up and she got in a relationship with the first black man on Sex and the City, that was her best relationship. He was showing up for her as a true high-value man.
And when he would do little gestures, remember when he got her that really cute cookie? And I think he said he loved her on it. I think he demonstrated his love for her in that cookie. But look how that made her not happy. It made her uncomfortable. She has, if you could think of one scene that a man has done a gesture for her, I'll wait. Put it in the comments. I do not recall one scene a man has done that was really romantic.
Yet you guys love Steve.
For Miranda. Every other woman, I can say men put their best foot forward for them. What has a man truly, truly done for Miranda on that show?
Nothing.
I'll wait. I'm gonna wait forever.
Yeah. Y'all will be like, Steve said nice things.
That is just romance warlocking, babe.
Yeah, another term she coined. A romance warlock is someone who magically uses romantic terminology and nice words. Makes you feel like he's so there for you. Now you're so taken care of and provided for because I said that you are.
Yeah, he basically uses words of affirmation and sometimes talent. Like say if he's a good model, like sometimes he'll use his looks or musical talents,
or if he can cook, he'll make you some food sometimes.
He'll use all his feminine skills because overall, if you can sing, if you can cook, that is being in your creative flow. That is using your feminine energy to create. Creativity is a feminine energy. So if a man's using his feminine energy to lure you, he's a romance warlock because a real man will show you
with his masculine
energy through action, through doing actual things rather than writing you songs and poems and telling you you're pretty. That's not real love.
All Steve would tell Miranda is that he loves her and that he doesn't want to be without her. I don't want to be with anyone else. I just want it to be me and you. I don't want to be without you.
He would just say nice things to her. Quite literally, that's all. And that's what got her. And I'm like, usually a woman with blocked femininity, that's going to happen to you. When I was younger, that used to work with me. Like I would just hear all the right things and I would think, oh my God, he must really care about me. But no.
You're probably thinking, okay, well then why didn't she want the black man? He said all great things. Yeah, too great. The problem is she is not his reciprocal. He is the best version of himself. Miranda is not the best version of herself. She's never worked on herself. She never wanted to. This is the thing. You guys can catch a high value man, but you can't keep them unless you're able to meet them where they're at energetically. And we know that Miranda is hot garbo.
And she was too prideful to come to terms that she had work to do. She'd rather just complain and just move in that energy.
That's what you call low value. People get upset with that term, but guys, low value is not seeing your worth.
It's not how we view you, it's how you view yourself.
So you are showing us that you don't see yourself in a high value, therefore you don't have to work hard because you're okay with being at the low value that you are and you'll take what you can get. You're a low value woman. You thought he was high value and you're like, I don't want to do the work to meet you there, but Steve doesn't require work. Steve said this is okay. He'll take this.
Yeah. And that's why you will constantly get into relationships where you're unhappy because you didn't want to work your way to becoming a better woman to keep a good quality man. And it's just going to be a sick cycle forever.
And like we said, when you are with your fake reciprocal, if you're the woman and you're in your masculine and he's the man and he's in his feminine, you'll think it'll work and it might work for years. That's the gag. We tell people all the time, they're like, y'all hating on this relationship. No, it could work for 10 years, 15 years. But one day, because God exists and biology exists, you as the woman will always feel like something's wrong. You're going to be resentful of this man because it feels like he gets to do all the relaxing and all the chilling. You feel like you're working super, super hard. It'll become to the point when you put yourself in a position as a provider woman, you work so hard, you're always busy. And when you aren't busy, you're trying to get energy to go work again. You're going to be distant from your husband and you're not going to care about putting him first. You have to pay for bills and stuff. Putting him first, the audacity. That's how you're going to feel.
And one day he's going to be resentful that he isn't masculine enough because you don't give him the space to do so. And also, it's his fault too. But men are sick like this. They will resent you for the work that they don't do.
They'll sit on your couch, let you pay the bills for years, literally wanting you to do that, and then hating your guts because you've done it.
But also think about it. It's no different than when you do too much for a friend and they start taking you for granted.
Exactly. And then one day, the man will cheat to go and make himself feel validated. You will create distance in a relationship. And that's exactly what happens.
You said you would find a place, so I have been...
This is my house. My house.
Really? You should tell that to the mortgage that has only my name on it.
I made it! This kitchen! I built it! It was a shithole before I did everything. I did everything here! This floor! The fireplace, the fucking bookshelf, all of it is my house. My house. You never wanted to come here to Brooklyn. You never wanted me. And you never even wanted Brady. So why don't you go find a new place and get the fuck out of our lives? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miranda, please. Hey. You can't leave like this, all right? I did nothing when I said about Brady. It's just you caught me off guard, okay? Listen, this isn't us. This is not who we are.
It's a cycle. And then in the end, Miranda's miserable. She brings up everything that was bad about the relationship. She was the provider. I paid for the house in Brooklyn. My name is on it. You can't be angry when you created this life. You set up the script. You said, I'm the man, I'm the provider. Now you're in your freaking late 50s looking around confused by your story.
Yeah. And I actually just remembered he definitely cheated on her, because remember when they went on their honeymoon, oh my God, the honeymoon I think is such a great example how terrible your life can become if you're stuck in your masculine. This woman gets married and cannot focus on her husband on her honeymoon. She's so disturbed that there's no phones. She's literally calling her friends trying to know what they're up to. Remember that?
Oh my God,
She wanted to know what they're doing on her honeymoon. Do you understand how,
guys,
what? I'm like, no shit, Steve cheated on you later on. Why wouldn't he?
All of this is to say, Miranda Hobbes is not our favorite on Sex and the City. She's our least favorite, because I can't identify with a woman who has blocked femininity, has a societal penis swinging in between her legs, and doesn't do the work. All she does is be upset in her collared shirt. Next.
Yeah, and overall, I actually think I understand after us talking about Miranda, I'm actually telling you, I actually think that, there actually is a reason why these girls were all friends.
100%.
I understand what the reason is. They all centered men, and they all didn't really understand why things weren't making sense. They all had that one thing, was every single one of these women wanted love. They love men, but they all have warped views on love and how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kept them together.
Because they're like, yeah, we so get each other.
And then they all get you men are so fucked. They all don't do the work, and they both all can just stay in confusion together until the end.
And our goal is that you don't stay in confusion until the end. We do videos like this to coach you guys out of delusion so that you can become the best version of yourself. You're not going to live your life You're not going to live life living through the exact same cycle. That is the definition of insanity.
Quite literally, that is. And you need to work on yourself, work on glowing up, leveling up your life. Everything has a season. If you are constantly in the same season, you are in the pits of hell. Okay? You need to go through metamorphosis all the time.
Yes.
I think even myself, I would sometimes feel bad that I went through something, because I'm like, life was good at one point. Why is it going bad now?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, that's actually a part of life that's supposed to happen, so you can keep leveling up and getting better and better and better. So if you aren't, you need to tap in, because we're going to be here to help you reset your life, glow up, and all of that. So stay tuned for more.
Make sure that you like and comment. Tell us your opinion, anything that stood out in this video, any points that you never thought about. We love hearing your point of view, and it's an open forum and discussion in our community. And you are on Remy TV, your favorite coaches for all things girlhood. We're going to continue teaching you how to level up in life, beauty, and relationships, and we will see you in our next video. Bye!